Howdy folks, thanks for stopping by Happy Trails Hiking. It's cold here in Missouri, and so we decided to take a trip down memory lane to some warmer places and some warmer times. We're going to look at some waterfalls. This first waterfall we'd like to show you is Darwin Falls in Death Valley.
Yeah, we hiked there in December of 2017. And the hike was fairly easy. There was a little bit of rock scrambling, but you hike along the creek that Darwin Falls falls into, and you end up at this wall. And Darwin Falls is right in front of you with the little pond.
One of the things that was interesting was there was this pipe running along the side of the trail, and at one point it was sort of like walking through kind of a little valley at some point because the walls kind of came in a little bit. There's a lot of vegetation because you're walking along a creek. So it's just a stark contrast in the landscape because Death Valley is so barren of vegetation, and this trail is definitely not. So it's a pretty neat. It's a pretty neat walk.
Yeah, it's definitely highly recommended from us.
A really easy waterfall to visit is in Great Smoky Mountains National Park. Cataract Falls is right behind the Sugarlands Visitor Center.
The next waterfall that we wanted to focus on was Tower Falls in Yellowstone National Park. And it's in the northeast section of the park, and it's always really busy and under construction around there. So Matt and I stopped on our Rockies road trip in 2018 and got a few shots of Tower Falls from the lookout point.
This next waterfall is in Zion, and we captured this from the East Rim Trail. The area is known as Jolley Gulch. And this waterfall that you're looking at now is actually a weather-dependent waterfall. We happened to be there in March, and it was a very wet and heavy snowpack year, and so the water was flowing rather briskly.
Yeah, I've had some people who've watched our video said that that there wasn't any water when they went through Jolley Gulch before in other times of the year. So we got a really unique time to be there.
So if you happen to go see it, your mileage may vary.
Red Rock Falls in Glacier National Park can be found on a fairly short hike from the Swift Current area of the park.
Probably the most famous waterfall that we've been to visit is the lower falls of the Yellowstone River, and this is from Artist Point in Yellowstone National Park.
We happen to be at this waterfall at a very busy time of the year.
Yeah.
But
July.
one of the things that we have developed as we've traveled all these different parks is we tried to figure out how to time our activities. And we took this video at 7 a.m. And that's one of the things you can do when you're in the more famous and busy parks is get out before breakfast for those things that are must-dos on your list.
And as you can tell in the video, you can hear the waterfall. Just listen. We were the only ones there. So our next waterfall is Mill Creek Falls, and it's in the Rogue River Valley out in Oregon, kind of near Crater Lake.
Right, so we went to visit Crater Lake on that particular day, and we actually got done early enough that there was still some daylight, and we had been talking with the clerk or concierge at the hotel we were staying at, and they told us about this place, and we're like, well, hey, we got some time, let's go check it out. And it wasn't really part of our kind of initial trip plan, but we're sure glad we went. Last September, we went to Cuyahoga Valley National Park, and this is Brandywine Falls.
Yeah, I've been to Brandywine Falls twice. Lori and I went to Ohio in 2016 as well, and this is kind of the highlight of the natural wonders of the park, or at least the water wonders of the park. And I liked it so much that I knew that I had to take Matt back along with our friends Sean and Marianne when we were headed over there. So our next waterfall is from Yellowstone National Park, and it is the brink of the upper falls of the Yellowstone River.
So in the clip that you're seeing here, it's difficult to get the whole waterfall in frame, and when we're there in person, we can't see it all at once either. But the thing that's so neat about this is the massive volume of water that's moving right in front of you. I mean, you can feel the energy. It's just like the air and the ground is just reverberating with the power of the moving water. It's really quite intense.
Next area that we are showing you is the Rogue River Gorge up in Oregon.
So basically, this was just a hike along the river. But it was very interesting. There are cascades and tunnels and just different visual effects, if you will, for a place that isn't really that big of a deal on the map, but it was definitely worth a stop.
In Redwood National Park, you will find a short hike to a beautiful little waterfall called Trillium Falls. It was a great hike in the afternoon in July.
The next falls that we're going to show you is Fairy Falls in Yellowstone National Park, and we've been there twice now.
And you probably figured out by now that Yellowstone is one of our favorite places. This particular waterfall in the park is easy to get to, and you get to walk by Grand Prismatic on the way to get there. And if you keep going, you can get to even more good things. And so
like
this
Imperial
is
Geyser.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's really cool. So highly recommend this hike.
We are back in Glacier National Park for our next waterfall. This is a short walk from Sunrise Point to Bering Falls.
Well, we're back in Yellowstone again. But
Yeah.
This is Mystic Falls, and it's just off of Biscuit Basin in Yellowstone National Park. About a mile long, a little over a mile to get to this waterfall.
yeah, and the waterfall is beautiful, of course. But one of the things that you should keep in mind if you go is after you see the waterfall, at this point, keep going on the trail. Of course, have your map and compass with you, but it is a loop. And you can get away from the crowd as soon as you get past this waterfall, and you'll get some other views that are also very rewarding.
Cuyahoga Valley also has Blue Hen Falls. It's a beautiful little waterfall with a nice short hike to it.
So as you can tell, waterfalls are Happy Trails Hiking's favorite hiking destination.
So if you've got a hiking waterfall destination that you'd like to share with us, please let us know in the comments, and do all those other fancy YouTube things you're supposed to do, like a video, share it with your friends, subscribe, or whatever you want to do. And we really appreciate you watching. Thanks so much.